Oh,
What's going on, brother?
how are you?
Good. Welcome back. You made it, or have you made it? Do you feel like you made it, or is there still one more step to go before you can feel that way?
One more challenge, and then I made it. Almost there.
That's awesome. But this to get to this point is an accomplishment in itself, right? So what's the emotion like for you right now?
Oh, I'm so blessed and grateful. It's honestly a dream. I see myself on the TV, and it just like makes me smile. I can't help it.
You come in, and I mean, obviously everybody says, "Oh, I'm going to win." But I mean, talk about the process. I mean, did you really feel like, "Oh, I know I got this 100%," or is that kind of like, "Geez, I don't know. This is going to be a challenge."
It definitely was a challenge, but I was extremely confident, and it stemmed from like my team being super confident in me, and I just have all the belief in myself, and I think that's the key that took me here so far.
And didn't yeah, and I guess you weren't 100%, right? I mean, doing this, so you were battling through injury basically the entire season.
Yeah, so it was pretty weird, right? Like in the first week, I was grappling, and after like talking to a doctor, it looks like I strained my meniscus, and so the entire season I've been dealing with it. I had to wear a knee brace. There'd be sometimes in practice where it would buckle, and it'd be kind of weird. So, but yeah, it was just a small hiccup in the road, and I didn't put too much thought into it, and I was just focusing on the fights and just winning the fights.
Was there any part of you that was like, I mean, did you consider like, maybe I can't fight, maybe I need to withdraw, or I mean, was that even a discussion point?
Not even a close. I was actually, it took me a while to even tell anybody because I was so scared that it might even like get me out of the competition. So I mentioned it to one of my coaches like in secret because I didn't want anyone to know because I was like, I'm gonna win this show. I want to be in here the whole time. But eventually I started telling them, and then the UFC PI started working on it a little bit, and they're working with me a lot. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. So at this point, I mean, I mean, I guess you probably wouldn't want to disclose too much, but are you 100% healthy, or is this kind of like, well, we'll get through this fight and then we'll figure it out?
No, I'm healthy now. I'm ready to go. I took a lot of time. I think I got out about 3 months ago. So the first month of being out, I spent a lot of time in rehab, and I came down here to the PI for a while, and my mom's a nurse practitioner, so she helped me a lot with that, and so yeah, I did a lot of rehab, and I feel 100% ready to go.
That's awesome. So in some ways, if all we've ever seen of you is what we saw on the show, do you feel like we scouted the wrong guy? Like I mean, do you feel like you didn't get to show everything because of what you were dealing with?
I think I think you guys saw a good portion of me, but I think there's a little bit of my game that wasn't shown on the show. A lot of my kicks weren't able to be used just because I couldn't, step on that leg weird, and a few things like that. But yeah, it doesn't matter now. I'm ready to showcase what I got this Saturday.
That's awesome. Of course, a big fight for you. Fighting a teammate, is that a good thing, bad thing? I think on the one hand, at least you probably know what you're facing. On the other hand, he probably knows you a little bit. So is it a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it just is what it is. I kind of had that same situation with Josh, right? We were roommates, even closer friends than me and Ricky. Me and Ricky are really close friends, but me and Josh were, I think, closer friends. And we had trained a couple times at Spokane. So, it's a same thing, different story, I guess. But, I'm ready to go. Either way, it's going to be a good fight, and I'm ready to put on a show.
Nice, Ricky. Obviously, quite the character. What do you think about him as a fighter? I mean, how do you feel he's going to present to you as a challenge?
Yeah, I love Ricky. He's a cool guy, and I think as a fighter, he has good cardio, has a good pace. He's wild. He makes it interesting, and I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be an interesting fight, but I think it's definitely in my favor. I feel like it's one-sided.
Nice. Last thing for me, how are you looking at this? I mean, you're such a young guy. I feel like, I know you don't want to think it doesn't go your way, but it does. You got a lot of future ahead of you is what I'm saying. So what does this moment mean to you? I mean, just feel like everything's on the line, or is it just another fight?
No, I feel like every fight is everything's on the line. I put my all into my training, into my fight camps, and so I think with this, I'm taking it just like every other fight. This is my fight. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put on the best performance that I can, and I'm going to go show everybody what I'm really about.
I've got just a fun one over here for you.
Yeah.
I asked Gilbert if there was anything that happened during the season that didn't end up on air that you think the fans would like. He mentioned a nudie run. I'm wondering if you have a different story, perhaps.
Yeah, the nudie run of Ryder and Brian was pretty funny. I'm trying to think of anything that comes to mind. Oh, my favorite by far, Scrappy, Dustin Lampros. He chugged an entire bottle of Howlerhead. And like they had it on camera, and I'm so surprised they didn't do this, especially because it's Dana White's whiskey. He chugged an entire bottle of Howlerhead, and we went to the coaches challenge right after, and obviously he's acting a little tipsy, and Dana gives him $2,000. He's like, "Good show, kid," and he's like, "Are you okay though? Do we need to call the doctor?" But it was great. It was hilarious. And then after that, everyone else is like, "Oh, Dana White's giving out money. Let's take Chug and Hallerhead on the cage." It was, oh my gosh, that was probably the best.
Did Dana know that he had chugged it? Is that why he gave him the?
Yeah, because he did it right before he left, and Ortega and Volkanovski, we were all just chilling in the house, getting ready to leave in the vans, and Dustin pulls out the Hallerhead and he starts chugging it, and then everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy." So I think someone told Dana, and then when we get there, Dana walks up to me and is like, "Dude, you are a champion," and gives him $2,000. Shout out Dustin. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't make it on the season. That would have been a cool one.
Free commercial for him, right?
Exactly. Yeah, maybe he didn't like it because it didn't show how strong the whiskey is or something. But yeah.
Thanks for taking the time. I mean, you mentioned it was a one-sided bout. Expand on that. Like, where the strengths that you see that you pretty much got this one in the bag.
Oh, between me and Ricky? Oh, I just feel like my pressure. I feel like I'm confident in what I got. I feel like my striking's great, and it's always improving. My grappling's strong. I feel like I'm super athletic, and I wouldn't go in there thinking that I'm going to lose. So I think I'm going to go in there and I'm going to win, and it's going to be one-sided.
Excellent. Best of luck on Saturday if you need it.
No, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.